So Mark, what is the Wordfence Bug Bounty Program?
Yeah, so that's something that we launched in the last year or so, I would say. We're really excited about it. It's our effort to fund security research. We've got really amazing researchers, some of whom are quite legendary within Wordfence, who have discovered vulnerabilities that in some cases have potentially affected the entire WordPress ecosystem. There was an infrastructure vulnerability we found a while ago on WordPress.org. But we realize that we can't do it all. We've got a finite team, and there are also some very, very talented vulnerability researchers out there on the internet. And so what we've started doing is funding research. In the last 6 months, we've spent almost $250,000 in payouts to researchers for high-risk vulnerabilities that they've submitted to our program, where the vulnerability was in scope, and we recognized that. We worked with the vendor to do responsible disclosure, get the vulnerability fixed, and then of course rewarded the researcher appropriately for the incredible research that they contributed. So that's kind of an overview of how the program works. The highest payouts that we pay for a single vulnerability is up to about $10,400 for a single vulnerability. Those are high severity vulnerabilities that tend to have a high impact because there's a big install base that is affected by the vulnerability. And then there's a scale that is very clear and transparent on our site that gives you an idea of how our payout system works. We also have the concept of whether a vulnerability is in scope or not. I think what you'll find is that there's a lot of vulnerabilities that are in scope, that are in a WordPress plugin or in WordPress core, and are the kind of vulnerability that we accept, and where the install count for that product is high enough to make it relevant. Those are kind of the general variables that affect whether something is in scope or not. We support our researchers very, very well. We actually have a Discord where our team hangs out, and researchers can sign up for the Discord and go in and ask our team questions about the program if something isn't clear or they need some guidance. And they can chat with other researchers on the Discord as well, which is great. So Wordfence is actually a CNA, which stands for a Certified Numbering Authority, and it means that we are authorized to hand out CVEs, which are identifiers that uniquely identify vulnerabilities out there on the internet. So when a researcher submits a vulnerability to us that is in scope, we can assign them a CVE, and those CVEs are recognized throughout the security industry. And so that helps a researcher get recognition for the work that they've done, not just financially from us, but actually something that they can put on their resume referencing the vulnerabilities that they've discovered, which is really helpful. And then we will handle responsible disclosure for the researcher, which is great. We know the process, we understand it. We've done it many, many times, where we facilitate contacting the vendor that is affected by a particular vulnerability, confidentially disclosing the vulnerability to them, working with them to establish a timeline for how long it's going to take for that vulnerability to get fixed, and so on. And that really frees the researchers up to have more time to focus on the good research that they do. So yeah, I think that's kind of the outline of the bug bounty program that Wordfence runs. We're really excited about it. We fund more research than anyone else out there in the WordPress security space. And we've been investing a lot in researchers and in the program. And we're really excited about it. And we think that it's having a really, really big impact on helping secure the WordPress community.